Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Amrinder Singh. Today we're gonna talk about obligations in Punjabi. I mean, how to talk about obligation if you have one. So, for example, in English we use like have to, right? If you wanna do something, if you have some kind of obligation, in the present we say have to. I have to go to work every day, whatever, right? In the past we just had to, right? Something like that. So same in Punjabi, so we use some kind of words to describe a obligation. So that's what we're gonna learn today. So basically, I'm gonna describe four situations. There might be more situations, but mostly we use only these four situations. I think 99% of the time we use these four situations. All right. So first situation is like when you talk about like your regular obligation, right? For example, I have to go to work every day. In Punjabi you will say ਮੈਨੂੰ ਰੋਜ਼ ਕੰਮ ਤੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਰੋਜ਼ ਕੰਮ ਤੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ, alright? So here we use ਪੈਂਦਾ, alright? ਪੈਂਦਾ. And again, when you make a sentence but obligation, it's gonna start with the menu, right? Menu. Don't start with man, that's gonna be wrong. Any kind of pronoun if you are using, it's gonna be like a passive pronoun. Like natu is gonna be a tenu, right? And yeah, not o is gonna be like a onu, something like that, all right? So let's take another example. ਮੈਨੂੰ ਹਫ਼ਤੇ 'ਚ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਦਰਖਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਾਣੀ ਲਾਉਣਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ, alright? Did you notice I said ਪੈਂਦਾ, right? So here I'm describing my obligation I have to do once a week, right? Like I have to give water to the trees like every week or once a week, something like that, right? I have obligation that. So it's penda, all right? If you are gonna talk about a feminine word, then you will say pendi, like menu roja pini pendi, right? I have to drink tea every day. Now cha is a feminine word, that's where you use pendi, all right? Now I know this is not anybody's obligation, but just take it as an example, all right? So now let's talk about how would you say these sentences in past. All right, in past it's going to be a pyasi, all right, or paisi. For example, you will say like kal menu ਕੰਮ ਤੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਪਿਆ, or ਕੱਲ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਤੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਪਿਆ, alright, or ਪਾਰਟੀ ਤੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਪਿਆ ਸੀ, ਕੱਲ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਤੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਪਿਆ ਸੀ, or ਪਿਆ, whatever. It means yesterday I had to go to the party, alright, I had to go to the party. So yeah, now keep in mind, when you do or you did something in the past once, then it's going to be pyasi or paisi. Like kal mainu cha pini pai, because cha is feminine, we use say pai, pini pai. All right, you did this activity in the past once, which you had obligation, whatever the obligation you have. Maybe you didn't want to drink the tea, maybe your relative forced you to drink the tea, whatever, you had some kind of obligation, right? But if you have to talk about some kind of activity you did regularly in the past, that time you like you won't use like a pyasi or paisi. That time you would use pendasi or pendisi, right? For example, you say like a ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਛੋਟਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਮੈਂ ਰੋਜ਼ ਸਕੂਲ, not ਮੈਂ, you can't start with ਮੈਂ, sorry, yeah, you would say ਮੈਨੂੰ, right? ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਛੋਟਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਰੋਜ਼ ਸਕੂਲ ਜਾਣਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਸੀ, alright? When I was a kid I had to go to the school every day, right? ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਛੋਟਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਰੋਜ਼ ਸਕੂਲ ਜਾਣਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਸੀ, alright? So there are two sentences. First, when I was child, when I was kid, that sentence you will start with ਮੈਂ, like ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਛੋਟਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ, when I was a kid or when I was young, whatever, right? Then your next sentence gonna start with the kind of obligation you did regularly. Then you will say ਮੈਨੂੰ ਰੋਜ਼ ਸਕੂਲ ਜਾਣਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਸੀ. Alright, now you would use ਪੈਂਦਾ ਸੀ because you did this activity in past regularly. This wasn't a one time activity. Alright, in the past when you do like a one time activity, then it's going to be a piasi or paisi if it's feminine. Alright, and in the past the activity you did regularly, then it's going to be paintasi. Alright, for feminine paintisi. Alright, for plural masculine plural like a paintasi, for feminine plural paintiansi, something like that. Alright, now how would you say in the future? Right, in the future it's going to be a ਪਊਗਾ, like ਕੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੰਮ ਤੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਪਊਗਾ. Right, tomorrow I will have to go to the shit where on the work. Right, I forgot what I need to say. Yeah, tomorrow I have to go to the work. Right, something like, or I have to go to the work tomorrow, whatever. So now you have obligation in future, then it's going to be ਪਊਗਾ. Right, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੰਮ ਤੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਪਊਗਾ. If it's something feminine, it's going to be ਪਊਗੀ. ਕੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਚਾਹ ਪੀਣੀ ਪਊਗੀ. Right, tomorrow I will have to drink the tea. You have some kind of obligation. It's ਪਊਗੀ. Alright, if it's a plural, it's going to like ਕੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਨੂੰ 2 ਗਲਾਸ ਦੁੱਧ ਦੇ ਪੀਣੇ ਪੈਣਗੇ. Alright, like tomorrow I have to drink 2 glass of milk. Right, for plural it's ਪੈਣਗੇ. Alright, so that's how it changes. Alright, so there are 4 situations. One is when you do some kind of activity regularly in the present, which is penda or pendaga, whatever, pendigi, whatever. Right, if you did some kind of activity in the past regularly, then it's pendasi or pendisi. Alright, only one difference: when you are doing some activity regularly in present, that's penda, only penda or pendaga. But in past it's going to be see at then pendasi. Alright, something like that. Now if you're going to talk about one time activity in past, then it's going to be a pyasi or paisi, stuff like that. Alright, and the last situation, which is future, then it's going to be like a ਪਊਗਾ, ਪਊਗੀ, ਪੈਣਗੇ, ਪੈਣਗੀਆਂ, something like that. Alright, ਪਊਗਾ for masculine singular, ਪਊਗੀ for masculine feminine, ਪੈਣਗੇ for plural masculine, ਪੈਣਗੀਆਂ for plural feminine. Alright, that's how it is. So another example, you can say like ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਾਰ ਵੇਚਣੀ ਪਈ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਪੈਸੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ. Alright, ਔਰ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਪੈਸੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਤਾਈਓ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਾਰ ਵੇਚਣੀ ਪਈ. Alright, tainta means that's why. Like I was broke, that's why I have to sell my car. Right, now in this situation you didn't have money, that's why you sell your car or sold your car. Right, you have some kind of obligation. You will say ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲੇ ਪੈਸੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਤਾਈਓ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਾਰ ਵੇਚਣੀ ਪਈ. Alright, ਪਈ, you did this activity once in the past, is pay. Alright, and car is feminine word, that's why you use pay. If it would be motorcycle, you will say paya. So another thing, keep in mind the verb, even you are gonna use this obligation sentences in future, past, whatever, in present, the verb is not gonna change. Verb is gonna be stay same. For example, the verb like pina. Right, like ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਾਣੀ ਪੀਣਾ ਪਊਗਾ. Now it's future, the verb is ਪੀਣਾ. ਕੱਲ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਾਣੀ ਪੀਣਾ ਪਿਆ. Right, now the sentence is in past, ਪਿਆ, ਪੀਣਾ ਪਿਆ, but the verb is same, ਪੀਣਾ. If you want to talk about in present, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਰੋਜ਼ ਪਾਣੀ ਪੀਣਾ ਪੈਂਦਾਗਾ, ਪੀਣਾ ਪੈਂਦਾਗਾ. Right, the verb is always going to be like that, ਪੀਣਾ, ਖੇਡਣਾ, ਦੇਖਣਾ, karna, whatever. The verb it's not gonna change. It's gonna be stay same verb, the regular verb, the actual verb in these sentences. All right. Only one thing is gonna be changed, which is the ending. All right, like pendaga, pendasi, piasi, or pauga, stuff like that. Only this thing is gonna be indicate what kind of sense it is. All right. So these were the obligation sentences. So you can use when you have some kind of obligations. All right. So that was it. So if you want more Punjabi stuff from me, then you can check out my Instagram, Facebook. On Instagram, I explain short Punjabi videos. On Facebook, I post other Punjabi videos where I speak more Punjabi. And if you are a visual learner and you want to learn Punjabi, then make sure you subscribe me on YouTube. And if you like this podcast, you think you are getting the value from this podcast, and you want to support this podcast, then you can support this podcast through PayPal, Patreon. Links are in the description. It would motivate me to make more podcasts, and it would also help this podcast to grow more. You can also give 5 star to this podcast if you're listening it on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It would help this podcast to spread to more people. And if you need a help one-on-one, then you can email me. So at the end, if you having a trouble with Punjabi pronouns, then make sure check out my ebook about Punjabi pronouns. All the links are in the description.